You're raving, you're raving, you're raving with RWR. Fabulous songwriters from Belgium and beyond, the lowlands, the highlands, and far across the pond. On Instagram and Facebook too, you can follow, like, and share. Please hit subscribe and join the tribe from the comfort of your chair. You're raving, you're raving, you're raving with RWR. Hello, dear people, and good evening, lovers of songs and songwriters. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Raving with RWR. This is episode number 77 here on my YouTube channel, Songs from the RWR Room, dedicated to singer-songwriters from Belgium and beyond. Welcome back. How are you all doing? It's great to see you. We have a few live viewers already. Big up. It's lovely to see you all. Let us know where you are, who you are, and I'll drop a couple of comments in there. If it is your first time to the YouTube channel or you haven't done so already, please consider hitting that subscribe button for me, will you? And maybe give the old video a thumbs up. Leave a nice comment for Danny or myself later on. It'd be much appreciated. Helps the old algorithmy thingy bobs to keep going. Tonight's stream brought to us courtesy of G-Sharp Guitars, the world's finest travel electric guitars, Norwegian invented guitars. Check them out there in the links below. If you want to support the channel in any way, there is a PayPal link in the description below also. All donations greatly received. You can also have a look at therwrroom.com and have a look at the shop there for some mugs and shirts and goodies and all that kind of stuff. Feel free. Never expected, always appreciated. Who's here? Stephen, Mr. Good Mojo from downtown Warscott. Hello, Stephen. Another Irish stream tonight, Stephen. That's right. So hold on to your hat. Hello again. This is Chris Link in Deutschland. Guten Abend, Chris. How are you all doing? Throw us a comment up there, folks. Let us know you're watching live and that you can hear us loud and clear. If you wouldn't mind, thanks very much. So yeah, I hope you're all doing fine. Episode 77 here, as I said, and it's very nice to be here. It is Saturday, the 6th of March in the year 2021, in case you're watching from the future on Mars, for example. Who knows? Here is Katja van der Porten to say hello. Helly, she says. Helly, Katja. Lovely to see you too. Oh, it's hello, is it? Okay, I figured. Good to see you all, folks. Listen, anyway, enough from me. Let's, without further ado, go over to Haarlem in Holland by way of the green fields around Verbaan and say hello to the man of the moment, the brilliant Danny Guinan. Are you there, Danny?
I am calling in from the Netherlands. How are you, Dahi?
Good, sir. And yourself. Great to see you. I suppose yes. I could still say Happy New Year, couldn't I? I suppose it's not too late.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, we won't be able to do it in person for a while yet, so you might as well do it now.
That's exactly it. Exactly it. You're not letting this whole pandemic hold you back. Brilliant new single out. Congratulations on that, by the way. That's absolutely fabulous. Yeah. Little Star is going from strength to strength for you.
Yeah, it's great. I've been so busy, to be honest, the last, I don't know, maybe at least the last 9 months anyway, with finishing the recording the new album, and then when I got to sign the record deal, that kind of put the wheels really in motion as well. And it's funny, there's so much to do, especially on social media. I mean, it's gas, you know, my last album, and this is shocking, dates from pre-social media.
Really? So
I've never kind of really brought out music which involves Facebook and Instagram. And half the bloody day is gone with checking things and making posts and trying to be clever. It's mad altogether.
It is mad altogether. Although you do it very well. Your posts are very well thought out. They're very clever, very connected to what you're promoting, of course, which is the single. Which is really cool to see. Yeah. So when you think of it, of course, I mean, it's quite a few years since your last full album.
Yeah.
Which was called, remind me.
The Rise and Fall of John Doe.
That's the one. The Rise and Fall of John Doe.
And up and down times in between.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you were on the scene for many years. And how long are you in Haarlem now?
Would you believe, this year I'll be 25 years here.
Lord.
It's my own kind of anniversary, my own kind of harvest, like you had.
Yeah, like we had the harvest. Yeah, well, that's great. That's fantastic.
But it's not.
Yes.
I mean, where's that time gone? And it's just crazy. It really is. But I mean, I'm not complaining. I love it here, and I'm well settled. Have been for a long time.
You are.
Yeah,
no, absolutely. No, absolutely. But tell us a little bit then about the new single before we play it. Just to we talk about the Little Star and how the record deal came about, because I know not very easy this day and age to get signed at all, or even get anything released with a record label. So how did you stroke that?
Yeah. Well, I had gone basically to plough my own furrow, record the album, finance it myself, etc. Not even thinking I would be looking for a label to distribute it or promote it or whatever. So I was just kind of head down and go for it. And my bottom line was just make as good a record as you can. That's really all I wanted. And I had the songs. I had spent quite a lot of time writing stuff. I'd taken quite a long hiatus away from the live scene and everything. And it was good to really just concentrate on writing stuff that I was really happy with. And when I went into the studio, myself and Ed Feltrop, Ed is my right-hand man in this whole game, of course.
Absolutely, brilliant, Ed.
We made a good plan to get into the studio and throw everything at it, basically. We shouldn't be doing this or we shouldn't do that. Try anything you can.
Do everything. Yeah.
Be experimental. Think outside the box in terms of recording. And that's why we ended up, for example, with a string quartet on a couple of the songs, including Little Star. And
Beautiful the way it changes, into that change. I was going to mention it. Sorry to interrupt you, but that is an amazing change from the song. The way it just changes into the quartet. Yeah.
Fabulous. And that for me was such almost like giving myself a present, an early Christmas present, doing that. Yeah, I've never recorded with a quartet or an orchestra before, and it was a magic feeling, it really was. And it gave the song what it needed to, because I mean the song is quite a simple guitar piano song, but it needs the expansiveness of the universe, I suppose.
Yeah, indeed.
The song is dedicated to the Voyager spacecraft and their mission, and the fact that they are now outside of the solar system and off in stellar space. And I really, the song, the subject matter was an enormous inspiration to me in terms of writing the song. But by the same token, I think the song and the message of the Voyager mission and the message of the song could be an enormous inspiration for humanity in general, if I'm allowed to be so bold.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. I read something in one of your early posts, I think it was, or an article that happened, that you were also kind of a big fan of Star Trek, Star Wars, all that kind of stuff, were you?
Yeah.
As a kid growing up, so there was
This is all coming out now, unfortunately. I should never have opened me big mouth.
But still, it's nice. It's nice. It's a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I have a fascination for that, for the looking beyond the planet, if you like, and up instead of down.
Good. That's the way to do it, isn't it? To try. Yeah. It's not so easy these days to be looking up instead of down, of course.
True.
And forward instead of back. It's fantastic. I want to just say hello to a couple of people, if you don't mind. Eric Backer joined us there. Hello, Eric. Nice to see you.
Right.
And the Baldoni Keys is tuned in from Ufalia as well. Look at it. How are you, Donny?
Tony.
Yeah, good to see you, sir. Although no, he's not Ufalia anymore. I think he's where are you living now, Donny? I forget. Matt, somewhere else.
Gone up the country.
Chris remembers you from Chris Link remembers you in the 2000s with Shamrock events.
Chris.
Days I played pub in Solingen, Germany. Yeah, a few festivals which featured the Mahomes. Okay, inside a castle. Yeah,
wow.
Chris is a big fan of you, as I am too, Danny. But and Aoife Lee, we'll talk about. Aoife remembers you from with Tommy, of course. Speranza. We'll be going down the Speranza road very shortly, Aoife. So stay tuned for that. We've got a little Speranza surprised. Longford, that's right, says Donny. Longford, sorry, Donny, I completely forgot. Longford man now, he is, yeah. Absolutely. There's a fella here called Dermot Guinan, do you know him?
Oh no, another Guinan.
All the Guinans are here. Want us to talk to Dermot from County Ireland. Lovely to see you, Dermot. Great to see all the Guinans in under the one roof.
Very good.
Fantastic. Look, I'm going to play the song, Danny. Well, we have a crowd. This is a beautiful single. We'll play the new single. We'll come back and have a bit more chit chat after this, if that's cool with you.
Great stuff.
Beautiful. Check out this great single. Everybody can find the single, Danny, can't they? On your website, dannyguinan.com.
Yeah. It's available. It's on all the streaming services. It's out there basically. So
it's out there. It sure is. Go having a look. And just folks, I always remind people as well. These videos, when I pull them into the sharing thing, get a little bit compressed. So I always encourage people to go and root out these videos yourself separately after the stream, folks, and hear them properly. They might get a little bit squashed, but you'll get the idea through the stream anyway of what the song sounds like. It's an amazing song from Danny Guinan, brand new single, and it's beautiful. Check it out, folks.
Oh, little star, look where you are now. Look what you've done, escaped the sun. While we go on creating harm, all around the world. Oh, little star, when you look down here, what do you see? How could this be? You see how we go on with harm. All around the world. So travel on, my little star. You carry all that we once were. Oh, little star, look where you are now. Look what you've done. Outshone the sun, and we're all gone. And there's no harm. All around the world.
Yeah, Little Star, fabulous song, Danny, and a fabulous video as well.
Yeah.
That quartet, and when it comes in, it just sends shivers up the spine. It's just fabulous. Who's responsible for the animation?
I found a girl here. She was just graduated from an animation college in Utrecht, and I put a post up on their kind of notice board, job board in the college.
Yeah.
And she responded. So she's quite young and only starting out, but she did such a great job.
Unbelievable.
It's funny, Dahi. I mean, that's like out of my league, that kind of work and stuff.
Yeah.
And, I'm not exactly visually brilliant in stuff, but I had this idea. I had walked around for God knows how long, maybe since I even had the idea for the song or had finished writing the song. I could see the video in my head,
Wow. Yeah.
And I was thinking, how the hell do I get it out of my head and onto a screen?
Wow.
And is it possible? So I once I got in touch with her, I kind of tried. I just explained basically the song to her and what I could see in my head, and I let her off. And I remember that when she came back to me with a kind of an intermediate version of it or something, and I couldn't believe it. I think she's after looking into my head. For God's sake. And I'm just so delighted with it. It's kind of unusual, I think, these days. For somebody, say in my position, I don't have like millions of dollars to throw at a video, so this cost a few bob, but it's just such a great thing to have, and it works as a wonderful addition to the song. It actually, lifts the song.
Really enhances it. Absolutely. There's a little homage to Star Trek. I don't know if people spotted that. There's a little thing there in there, which is a beautiful touch as well. Really, really, really gorgeous. Yeah. Tell me about. So that's going to be. Obviously, it's a single. You plan to release a full album this year or next year, Danny? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's ready to cook or be cooked. It's there. It just needs to be pressed. But after the record company came on board, we kind of changed strategy, if you want to put it that way.
Sure.
I'm in management speak now. They were very kind of anxious not to just throw everything, give it all away in one go.
Yeah.
They wanted to get a single out, probably a second single as well before the launch of the album, maybe even a third. I'm not sure. Launching an album these days is a lot than 20 years ago. But we're looking at May. But with the whole situation with COVID and everything, it's very difficult to make any kind of a proper plan.
Yeah.
Because you would really like to go on tour it, immediately, or when it's out, get as much publicity as you can. Yes. You just need to be out on the road, which would be great, but it's just not possible at the moment. So but at the other side of it, I've been sitting on this for a while, and I'm really kind of anxious to.
Yeah, of course, chomping at the bit. Yeah.
So we'll see. But the single, it's great to get the first single out because it causes, it creates a little bit of a stir, and I know what the next one will be, and so you can kind of, you're leaking stuff, I suppose.
I know, bit. Yeah, that's how it's done these days, of course. And so apart from obviously digital stuff, you will press it, you will put it on a CD, maybe a vinyl, or is there plans to get on that road?
Think the whole lot, basically. Yeah. I don't think we'll be making cassettes. That's the only thing we might go that
right. No, well, okay. Well, sure, we can make a few bootlegs ourselves.
Yeah, but I want to have some hard copy, basically. Even if it's, I know there's plenty of people who will buy, would like to have a CD, and actually a lot of people who want vinyl as well. I even did a little bit of a survey there last year, and just among kind of Facebook friends and stuff to see. And it was surprising to see how many people would actually want a physical product and not just kind of Spotify it or whatever, which is great.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I think a lot of people still, our age group, shall we say, are definitely into the physical discs, and of course now this new wave of vinyl that's out there, that's happening, Yeah, absolutely. So you grew up in Fairbairn, the Greenfields around Fairbairn in County Offaly. We were neighbours for a long time. You and I, we go back a long time. Yeah. You were a fair few steps ahead of me in the sense that you were already gigging when I was kind of getting lessons with Tony O'Halloran, as you did too. What do you remember about the Fairbairn days, and what the sort of the musical inspiration sort of growing up as a kid in Fairbairn and meeting Tony O'Halloran, getting your first guitar lessons and going from there? Just talk a little bit about that era, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, Tony is a legend in Offaly and further afield in Ireland, and particularly in Forban, because he was the school teacher there and the guitar teacher. And I don't know how many kids went through his hands, if you like, and learned to play music and learned a love for music, because his enthusiasm was part of the whole thing as well, you know.
Very much so.
Tony wasn't just there to kind of teach you a few chords and send you off. He kind of handpicked songs for you, you know. He had great attention to what are you trying to achieve, and even as a kid, 13-year-old, kind of there with 30 or 40 of us all banging away in D, you know. And I loved that. It was a great.
I loved that. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
The funny thing is, I mean, in a really small town, half the kids in the town are all playing music, so the sense of competition was enormous.
Yes, it was, of course.
We were all mad to get our spot, basically, you know.
Yeah.
And a lot of people from Forban and the surrounding area have kept playing music, you know, either in professional or whatever form, and that's what Tony gave all these people, you know. And I think that's
absolutely
magic. That's just magic.
Just magic, indeed it was. Yeah. And what were you like listening to in Forban in the Guinan? Was there a lot of trad, Irish? You know, a lot of sessions, of course, and parties, of course. Like no more than my own house, but.
Yeah.
What you know, by the time you were a teenager, sort of heading towards uni, what kind of stuff were you listening to, or what was driving you as Danny Guinan songwriter?
An awful lot of different influences, partly because 6 kids in a house, all musical as well.
Musical, yes.
So all fighting to play their records, and we'd only one record player, and. So there was. I mean, Mary, my sister, was who was Tony's first ever pupil, by the way.
Was she?
Yeah, she listened to a lot of Joni Mitchell and stuff. Kieran used to hide his Sex Pistols singles under his pillow, so Manny would find them. And Diarmuid and Connor were behind me, but they had their own eclectic tastes and things. So we all had a different taste in music. But I gravitated, I think, when I was around 16 or 17, towards the country and bluegrass a lot. Which was a funny thing. There was a kind of a country boom at the time.
There was Holler and sow the seed for that too as well. He did, you know?
That's true. Yeah. And we all got infected by that in Forban anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So I used to listen to a lot of bluegrass and stuff, and I really love that music. But I suppose really the common thread running through everything was I loved a good lyric. Anybody who could write something that did something to me. So whether it be Dylan or Leonard Cohen or the Smiths or, you know, anything for right across the board, anything that kind of hit home.
Yeah, that's right. That was a question actually from my brother Tony. He was just asking about, and I was going to ask you too about, you know, stranger interest in covers and what kind of. I was going to ask you what draws you, because I've heard lots of great covers from you, from Scullion to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
you know, you're definitely a lyric man, I suppose. You would say you're definitely lyric driven songwriter. Would it be right in saying that? You know, so I suppose, would it be lyrics that draw you in first when you go to cover a song, or to, you know, what picture your ears up, or does it vary?
It varies, but I would certainly heavy on the lyric end of things. That's always, if you like, my priority, I suppose. But I'm a sucker for a good tune as well. I just am.
Yeah,
I covered a song last year. Was it last year? I think, with Margot from the Lasses.
Yeah,
she did a series of songs that are up on YouTube, and I picked a song from the Thompson Twins that has stayed in my head since 1980, whatever it was.
Wow, yes.
Hold Me Now, and it's a great song, and it's a pop song, big time 80s pop song.
It is.
We made our own acoustic version of it, so you know that's all doable as well. And I'm always hearing stuff that I think, oh Lord, I'd love to be able to do a version of that.
Yeah.
And it's all sometimes beyond in terms of possibilities. I'm a huge fan of the Blue Nile, by the way, from Scotland. Great band, but that's very electronic. And
that's electronic. Okay.
Yeah. So Danny's on board now. He's very electronic.
Oh yeah, you can hear that. Definitely hear that in your music. The influence, the varied eclectic influences that come in. Read what your sister was saying there, Mary Guinan. Somewhere, Daddy was Daddy who passed the honey to start lessons. Yeah.
Indeed.
How are you, Mary? By the way, thank you for tuning in. It's great. We nearly have all the Guinans now in the house. We do. We nearly have them all.
Have a song.
Yeah, we can start a session.
Yeah.
But I wanna go back down memory lane. It was in the 90s when you shot to superstardom in Offaly anyway, and in parts of Dublin. With a wonderful band called Speranza, and we've got a bit of archive footage coming up. But tell us about how Speranza was born, where you got the name, and stuff like that. A little bit of history about it, if you would.
Yeah, I had just finished college in what is now Dublin City University. It used to be the NIHE. I had done communications study there, and I basically joined the dole queue like every other student in Ireland in 1989 or 90, whatever it was. And but at the time, I was playing loads of music. I'd gotten into a whole rake of great characters in college, including Victor Lacken, who lives now in Amsterdam.
Victor, yes, indeed.
And we used to play loads of music together. So I ended up in cahoots eventually with a couple of bowsies from Dublin who already had the band Speranza, but they wanted to get rid of their singer, and I was next on the list basically. So I joined up with Speranza when they'd already been formed in their original lineup, if you like.
Yes.
And we kind of had not, I wouldn't say immediate success, but I remember we'd only been together for a couple of weeks, and we went down to Galway and won the Galway Buskin Festival, and that was
That's a big deal. That's where it started. Yeah.
We were delighted with that. And a month later, we had been invited to a huge festival in Italy. And we went to Italy for a week and played around Milan and areas there at this one festival. And it was just, we thought, look at lads, we're made. We haven't made already. We're barely out for our nappies. It's great crap. So that's where it kind of started. And we toured and toured and toured. We were always on the road. It was pretty hectic. Yeah. And it was a while, it wasn't until 1995 that we got the record deal and released the Speranza album. So there was a good bit of spade work to be done first.
Yeah, okay. But did the record deal sort of come to you, or did you have to go chasing it, or how did that come about?
It's both. We had been looking around shopping basically at the time. Everybody was shopping for record deals in Ireland. I remember there used to be a lot of small record labels in Dublin, especially, and we ended up with one of them, Stark Records, and they were very good, but they didn't have the clout, really. You need a bit of difference. But it was great. We didn't have to pay for the record. Put it down.
Well, that's also the bonus to being signed, I suppose. Yeah. Was that? Everything you produced after Speranza, of course, Danny, was sort of on your own label, right? It was sort of it self-financed. You never really went back to the record labels since Speranza, did you? Or
not for want of trying, I suppose. Especially when I just moved to Holland and I brought out 2 albums in fairly quick succession. But I couldn't really I couldn't find a niche anywhere. And I think it's partly because, I sometimes fall between the stools of being a bit poppy, rocky, if you like, and folky. So I was in the middle sometimes, and that made it difficult to pigeonhole what I was doing, which makes it commercially less attractive, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the good and the bad of that. Of course, that's a whole other discussion. Where, as you said, you can't be pigeonholed. This is a good thing, but then a record label can't push you in a certain direction or say, yes, this is our new pop artist or our new whatever. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's how it went. But you still had huge success. You have several albums to your name, all amazing albums with great, you have a huge body of work. I mean, basically, even when, as you said, even when you took that hiatus from the game, you came off the road. And you were off the road for quite a long time before you came back with Odd Dreams and did your stuff. Were you like writing all that time, or did you like really take a step back from it all?
I took a major step back. It was
Yeah.
after I had released the last album, The Rise and Fall of John Doe. I had put so much work into that and effort. And to be quite honest, my expectations were just huge. I really thought this is the calling card I need. This is going to make the difference. And it didn't. And that really killed me. It was a real hammer blow at the time. And I didn't really recover from it in terms of kind of pulling up your socks and moving on and thinking, okay, just keep at it, keep writing. Bring out another album. I kind of lost faith in myself, I think, to a certain extent. And it was a very difficult period. I really ended up in a bad place. And the best thing in terms of the music was to make a rigorous break and stop. And hang up the guitar for a bit, take a different course, a different direction in your life, basically. And slowly but surely that manifests itself in where I am now. But the funny thing is the music came back to me and not the other way around. And I remember that so very well. I probably hadn't touched the guitar really for maybe 2 or 3 years, hadn't written anything, and I mean zero, which is very unusual for me. And all of a sudden I got this feeling, I'm being pulled into the music again, but only because of the music and not because of, for example, going out gigging, releasing albums, being successful, all that stuff. It had nothing to do with that. It was all, if you like, back to square one. Tony Holleran, 12 years old, baiting the shite out of D. That's what it was. And amazing, that feeling was wonderful. And it was great to rediscover, if you like, the basics of it all.
Yeah.
So I was very glad, really, to tell you the truth.
Well, yeah, I can absolutely relate to that. Absolutely can relate to that. As a guy following in the same footsteps, or have been for so many years. Absolutely. Sometimes you such. I think a lot of other songwriters said the same thing. You know, you put so much, not only financial effort into these things. You know, trying to make albums and the cost of it, but the physical element of it and the mental part of it. It's what drags you down, isn't it? I got to keep getting up. Yeah, follow the dream no matter what.
Oh, absolutely. But it's easy to underestimate how hard the blow can be if it doesn't work out the way you want to, because you're dealing with something which is pretty fragile. You know, it's right there in your heart. You don't want that to go wrong. You know, and when
you don't. You feel it more, don't you? It's very close to us. It's very close to us.
But one of the most valuable lessons I've learned out of all of it is not to complain about that. When I look back now, it has all been part of a huge learning process, and that's all it is. Everything that we do. I get too philosophical about it. I complained a lot, or was kind of down on my luck and thinking, why isn't anybody picking me up? You know, I'm being a bit resentful about it and resentful towards others who are successful. And that's not the way to approach the game. But maybe you have to do that to realize the music is what it's about. That's all, nothing else.
That's it. And the bottom line. And thank you very much for sharing that with us, Danny. Much appreciated. Speranza. Yes, that's what we're going to do. I was wondering, what I had a plan. Yes, I have a plan. I don't normally have a plan, but there is a plan. Before I'm 30, a big song. Looks like it's from Live at 3, I believe. That's right. You do the early show, and then you do the late show. That's how it is. You know, the Live at 3 was a stepping stone, wasn't it?
Well, this was actually in between. This was the Pat Kenny show, which was really.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this was kind of that's late show, but in between you had Pat Kenny as well, so we managed to get that far.
That's the Pat Kenny show. I wasn't Live at 3. Brilliant. No, it's fantastic. Faced with what could be a very long life, I don't want to end up with 10 kids and a wife before I'm 30.
Wise words.
This is the one, folks. Look at the head of this fella in this video, folks. You won't believe it. It's a fantastic Speranza song. This is Danny Guinan, believe it or not. Many moons ago. I'll see you in a few minutes, folks. We'll have some more great chat with Danny. Enjoy a bit of archive footage here. Speranza, Before I'm 30.
take me up a peg, take me down a peg, I don't care. I'll go on as long as I can, just as I am. Well, I'll find another way to block out the things you say with that in mind. I keep on as long as I can, just as I am. And faced with what could be a very long life, I don't want to end up with 10 kids and a wife before I'm 30. When I say that things are bad, you shrug and say I'm mad, fighting a life when I could be secure with a girl in a comfortable world. But I've got this thing, you see, a fear of security. Counts out the things I dreamed of when I was a kid, just like you did. And face what could be a very long life, I don't want to end up with 10 kids and a wife before I'm 30. So you take me up a peg, take me down a peg, I don't care, I'll go on as long as I can, just as I am. Well, I'll find another way to block out the things you say with that in mind. I keep on as long as I can, just as I am, and face what could be a very long life. I don't want to end up with 10 kids and a wife, with fortunes to follow, fame to achieve. I'll be damned if I jack it all in and just leave before I'm 30.
Jesus got me with the days. Who's your man? Who's your man? Did you see that comment there from Aoife Leages? And I heard it first time in a little place called Carrickall.
Oh.
And Aoife was about 5 at the time, I'd say. She's young on that. Aoife Leages. Yeah. Katja says, Katja can't believe you're 25 years in the business, that you only look about 30 years. That's a nice compliment.
That's all I am. I started very young.
See, there you go. He's like Michael Jackson. He had no childhood, sure.
Oh, thanks, Katja.
Wonderful song indeed it was. God be with the days. So that wasn't Live at 3. Yeah, that was the Pat Kenny show. Wow. It absolutely brings back memories, Tony. It sure does. A lot of people remember the song. Eric remembers from Hazel Meir. He says, happy ages.
That's how a song can stick as well, you know? I mean, that's,
yeah.
I kept playing that song as well. I kept having to change the lyrics, of course, the older I got.
Before I'm 40.
Literally. But it's funny enough, that song has something that's stuck when it was out as well, and even when I was playing here, and I played all over, and this was always part of the set cast.
Yeah, for years, even the solo stuff. I remember years ago in any gig you played back in the day. It was always part of it. It was just it's a big Danny song. It always will be. It always will be. What is your writing process like, or has it changed over the years? Are you a big note taker? How does it kind of go for you?
I've noticed, say in the last couple of years, that patience is probably the number one thing that I need when I'm writing. I'm not able to be quite honest, I can't sit down and write a song. Do you know? I mean, if somebody came up to me now in an hour's time and said, I need you to write a song, it's just not going to happen. Or at least it's not going to happen in a way that I would be happy with it. what I was talking earlier about when I got back into playing and writing again after taking a lot of time off, that the music came back to me. And that's what happens with the songs. And I really realize this more now, and it's very much part of my writing process now. I kind of feel it's coming on. It's kind of strange maybe to, I don't know how really to describe it properly, but I know when there's a song coming because I can feel it for a couple of days beforehand. So I mightn't write anything for 3 or 4 months and not even play much guitar at home and whatever. And then I'll feel this thing coming, almost like, you know, you feel a flu coming on, you know, just know there's a change in the weather, and I feel it in my bones, and I know within 3 or 4 days I'll be up in my little studio with every goddamn hour that I can spare, basically, because I know the juices are flowing then.
Got to come out of you.
Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll make use of all kinds of stuff I've written down in between. I am a devil for writing down bits of nonsense, basically, you know.
Sure.
But they often lead to a song. All you need is an idea. So when I mean this kind of, I suppose it's similar to being in the zone, I suppose. Then I know I have the ammo somewhere lying around.
Yeah.
All I need is to get myself going. And once I get myself going, I don't really realize how much time I'm putting into writing or anything. And the writing feels very smooth, and I know when I'm on the wrong track and I can throw stuff away. Yeah. And that might last for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and then it's gone. And then it won't come back again for another 3 or 4 months. So that's the way I write now, you know, and fine. I don't feel like I have to force it, put it that way.
No, you don't, but you're very much a note taker. And do you feel you kind of like to be sitting down with a guitar to bring something musical out, or can you... Yeah, or some people can kind of hear it in their head.
Yeah, no, they really go in tandem. I need the weapon, and I don't. I tend to write music and text, the lyrics together.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I don't. I won't have a whole tune ready and then I have to slap lyrics on top of it, or the other way around. I find it the concept of writing, say, a whole lyric. Yeah, and then trying to find a melody that'll suit it. Yeah, some people are great at it, but I'm not. So I try to put them together. And to me, it's a process that one can shape the other. The music shapes the lyrics as much as the lyrics shape the music. Yeah.
Well, I suppose everyone is different, of course. I didn't know that about you at all. Now I thought you were very much lyric first, and we'll find some music later to enhance it. No, okay.
No, I really need the music as well. Yeah.
That's brilliant. I see Jimmy here as well. Jimmy. How are you doing?
Jimmy.
Really enjoying this? Yes, can't wait to see you in the WAG soon, hopefully. Indeed. Let's hope. Let's hope it comes back. Let's hope it comes back. Yeah. Have you co-written at all, Danny, or tried your hand at that?
I have tried, and I'm useless at co-writing. I find it very difficult to kind of park half of myself or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a very selfish writer. I need to kind of disappear into my own cocoon.
Yeah.
And I work with great musicians, and especially like Ed now at the moment. We put a lot of work into arranging stuff, and arranging is great fun together, and I love arranging stuff with other people. But when it comes to an actual starting from zero and writing a song, maybe it's kind of a fear of the insecurity of doing something which is not good, or revealing something about yourself that's only half-arsed, you know.
Yeah.
So I like the security of the seclusion, to find out what I'm able to make first on my own, where nobody can see it or hear it, and then go with it to someone.
With you.
So, but I know. You've written songs, I know, with other people, like from zero, and very successfully. But it's
not for everybody. No, it's not for everybody. No, as you said, sometimes it also, even though the song can get finished, can get done. Sometimes you feel it's a little bit diluted.
Compromise.
Compromised in a way. Sometimes, you know, it's not really me, it's a bit of them, bit of me. We've created something and it's good and it can work very well. It can work very well. But as you said, I think if you want a very strong, much stronger song generally can be just, you know, it's all you. It's all your heart and soul and emotion that goes into it. There's nobody else there kind of or saying, well, if that's not me, I don't like it, you know, I want to put something else in there. I was just curious about that because I didn't know that part about you at all. Tell us a little bit about this great song When We Were Young, and remind me which album, 2006 or so. Which album was it on?
This is from If I Was Wise, which was probably the most successful album I brought out today. So that was it was at a really good time, at a really good band at the time. I remember Ronald and Leon. We did terrific setup, and the album really worked. We got loads of airplay, particularly in Belgium.
Particularly in Belgium, I remember that very well. Yeah,
and we toured quite a lot in Belgium as well with us. And When We Were Young was, I think, the first. What's it now? No, When We Were Young came out of If I Was Wise. It was the song I had written just after that came out, and it's actually on John Doe. So it was kind of a bridge between the two.
That's what it was, yeah.
And it was a song that had been kind of bubbling under the surface for a couple of years. It's about my hometown. If you like, the missing my father as well, who died quite young. There's a lot of that different emotion. It's not specifically about one person, but it's. I think I was going through what they call, the great word for it here in Holland, heimwee, homesickness.
Heimwee.
I had a big homesickness period when I was living here for a couple of years at the start. And that song was I hung everything on that one, you know. But it felt to me like I was really getting back to my roots with that song as well. Very much, this is what I am, this is where I come from, that kind of thing.
Gorgeous. That's a beautiful song. You have Sierra de Jong here, and you've got, who else is on the band here? Janis Colan,
Eric on bass, Eric Creek was playing bar around with a couple of fiddlers, Judith and Anne, and
amazing band.
We had a great collection. This is from, I think what you're going to play is from the album launch, actually.
I think it is. I think the video's from the launch. Yeah. Gorgeous gig as well. Let's give it a spin. We'll be back in a moment, folks, with more chat with Danny. When We Were Young, fantastic song. Great band here as well. Check it out.
Come, take my hand and settle down beside me, though you do not understand. Come, don't be scared, though the light is fading fast away across the land. I know it's been 20 years or more since we last went down this road, covered in the same old glow. Come, take my hand in the same old way you used to do before. Come, take my lips and give to them a kiss, though you do not know the reason. Come, let us join and keep out all the cold in this, the finest of all seasons. You know, the thought, it warmed my heart up until the very last, we could be together one more time. Come kiss my lips in the same old way you used to do before. Go and take me now in whatever way you please, and mind all of our memories. Go and don't return, for the day will soon be gone, and tomorrow there'll be nothing here but snow and leaves. Who knows, we may yet meet again when the world is at an end and the last of these red sunsets is no more. Go, 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 go. Come, the red sun in the west is giving up its best, and lighting up the hills with something we once called our own. When we were young, and that snowy afterglow had a name that we would not tell anyone.
Yeah, you know, making a lot of people cry with that.
I'm very sorry. I apologise.
Grown men in Holland crying. Benoit, Benoit, great comments, and yeah, but it is a beautiful arrangement of a great song. Absolutely, what a band you had then! My God,
Yeah.
Some team that was oh man, oh man, oh man. Speaking of great teams, O Dreams, another mighty project that you're involved in, and you kind of came out of, as you said, your hiatus and jumped straight in. Of course, you've been working with Ed Veltrop, as we all have, for many years, great musician, and John, of course. So what was the kind of the spark that you said, okay, this is going to work as a combination with an already well established duo such as O Dreams? What possessed you?
Well, I've always loved what John and Ed do as John O'Dreams. You know, started off kind of as a Christy Moore tribute thing, did a lot of Christy covers, but they developed their own sound as they went along, and they were kind of in the scene at the same time that I was going around playing a lot as well. You know, so they were up to great stuff, John and Ed. And I remember when we played in the band together that we put together with Mark Gilligan and Sears and a few others called the John of Gods.
The John of Gods, of course. Yeah.
Crack altogether. That was worse than the Pogues. and when John and Ed kind of came to me with the idea of the suggestion of could we do something together? We did one gig in a place called Vasp, and they were doing a show, and I got up to join them for a few songs, and it was the first time I'd been on stage in a couple of years, but it felt really safe. Let me put that. It felt not easy. It felt secure and comfortable, and I wasn't going to make a holy show of myself here. And before we knew it, we had developed this kind of chemistry between the three of us, where we could really spark off each other. And the three of us are quite different in our in musicality and approach to songs and stuff. But it really worked as a little trio.
It did.
So we just said we'll stick a band together. We had one kind of, if you like, requirements, and that was that we would only play theatres. Basically, we weren't going to go and do the
no bars. No,
we weren't
absolutely.
interested in the pubs and bars and stuff. We just said we're going to put a show together and do it well and make sure it's not so much choreographed, but at least that it's well put together. Yeah. Good lighting, good sound, and everything. We had Barry Tian on board, our sound man,
great move.
And we toured every season for I think the last 5 or 6 years, maybe 7, maybe more. I don't know.
More maybe.
We had a new show almost every season or every second season. And it's been brilliant. It's been wonderful going around playing in the theatres in Holland with a show which has gone down a storm everywhere. And it's close to my heart as well, because we do a very Irish show, but it's nowhere, if you like, the cliche. We do a lot of unknown songs from people like Wally Page and stuff. They're gems of songs and very Irish, and people get a great night out without having to listen to Whiskey in the Jar. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah, absolutely.
And so that's worked, and we're still doing that. We're doing that together alongside the solo project that I'm doing now, and it's great. The only thing is, everything is cancelled
and postponed, and it's a lovely show though. Yeah, I remember I saw the first one live and maybe one show of the second program. Because you also changed the songs, and I put the website up there, folks, just if anybody wants to have a look at dreams.nl. Just thought I'd give it a visual link there. But nice. It is an absolutely lovely theatre show, and very much touches on the spirit of Ireland and the music of Ireland, and your own. You add your own songs in there too as well. We'll finish off the show later on with one called "Falling Down." As well, which you made a great video for. It is. I hope it comes back, Danny. I really do.
Of course it will. It may come back in a kind of a different form. But even on that score, Dottie, I haven't been tearing my hair out because, I can't play. And I mean, nobody can. So nobody
can. You can't. I certainly can't anyway.
Live with, and deal with the time that you have to do other stuff. I haven't been bored, and I haven't been bored.
I don't know.
There's plenty to do,
Yeah, you do. It's actually a great opportunity, as you said, to reassess things, to step back a little bit. A lot. What we forget is, and a lot of listeners forget, is a lot of musicians like you and I have never done anything else with our time except book gigs, email, write songs, record them, try to make the money back from the recording. Rinse, lather, repeat, and there's never kind of a let up from that. All the background stuff that you do and that Ed does and myself. There's never been a let up till now. So it's actually a great time to go, like, hold on, let's just take stock.
Yeah.
Let's take a step back from it, because we the likes of you and me, we never have before. It's been go. As a professional musician, you have to.
But when you do take that kind of, it's a forced break, I suppose. Nobody asked for it. But that's certainly the upside of it, is that you do take stock of where you are, what you want, and you kind of get off the treadmill for a while, and that's good. That's good for everyone, regardless of whether you're a musician or not,
And yes, it's difficult, but also you have to look after yourself too. You've got to take a step back and rest the head. Have you embraced any of this live stream stuff? I mean, I know you're doing this, but I mean, your own kind of online shows at home, or did you bother with any of that malarkey?
No, and I'll tell you why. I did. It's also I maybe it's setting the bar for myself high, as I often do. If to do it, I really want to do it well and make it look good, sound good, everything, and not be kind of thinking I'm doing it here in the corner, and is everything working? And
it's a stretch.
Connection going after half an hour. So it's funny you ask me now. I have my first live stream gig is on the 20th of this month, the 20th of March, 2 weeks time.
There you go.
And that's going to be live streams from a theatre in Hellevoetsluis near Rotterdam.
Great. That sounds like it'll be a real pro one then. I guess you'll have links to that on your Facebook page.
I've been talking to them about it, and they're going to put a technically really good show on. So
that's what you want. That's
I
great,
just
because
must
it's
stand there and do this.
yeah, nothing as bad as tuning into someone you like to hear, and then their sound is awful, the internet's awful, and you're getting this terrible kind of internety sound.
Yeah.
It's lovely to tune in and hear something that's
By
well.
the same token, I understand why a lot of musicians want to do it. Maybe apart not just the financial end of it, to try and make a few bob, but just missing the playing. A lot of people really miss
Yes,
this
of course,
being
that.
able to play, and then you have to really find some way of doing it. And some people are out streaming every week.
Absolutely, yeah, it is. It's an outlet. It's also, I understand exactly why they want to do it, even if it's not up to par, or because they want to play. That's it. It's a performance. You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Tell us a little bit about this falling down song. I am a boy and I'm up on my bike, scaring the neighbours with obvious delight. I remember this from your last album.
Yeah.
Great song too. Recorded here with O Dreams. Tell us a bit about the background of that song, if you would.
I remember very well the inspiration for this. We were in Ireland. I was in Dublin with the band. We were touring Ireland, touring the If I Was Wise album, I think. And I was walking down James's Street, the other side of the road from the Guinness Brewery. My sister used to live, Mary used to live quite close there to that. And I can't remember exactly who I was with. It was a couple of us anyway. And we saw this lad approaching us, this wearing a real Dublin tracksuit, and look, this fella has a fucking knife.
Gourier.
Yeah. A real bloody Gourier. All he was missing was the piebald, basically. And he came up and he walked straight at us with that look in his eye, and he was just kind of passing us, and he said, "Geez, one," and I can remember it was kind of under, you could hardly hear it, but you knew he was basically trying to shift some gear.
Yeah.
We looked, there's a couple of lads on the boat, fresh off the boat from Holland. They must need a bit of something. But it immediately sparked in me this idea of there are a lot of people who live in pretty desperate situations in their family lives or whatever, or never really get things off the ground after school, never find a job, end up in the underworld, criminal circles. And this character he had everything that just screamed, "My life is fucked," down, And I remember when I was writing the song, I was singing it to myself with a Dublin accent and everything. Kind of the song is a little bit out of character for me, but it was a snapshot, and I just wanted to kind of capture your man in the moment.
And you did it perfectly. Danny, I'm a big admirer of your work and of you as a person. Love you dearly. Thank you very, very, very much for being here and for your time and talent tonight. Lovely to talk to you and to hear your stories. I hope when the dust settles, we'll meet up for a cup of tea in Mulligan's and somewhere in the Wag in Harlem. And you're always very welcome to the RWR Room for a song as well. When the dust settles, as the fella says.
Great stuff.
Thank you very much, and thanks to everybody for tuning in as well, for talking to us and chatting us, for all those lovely comments. We even have Martin Dunnigan, late starter, all the way from Shannon Bridge. How are you, Da? Good to see you, and good luck. How are you, and goodbye, Da. There you are. Big fan of yours too, is Martin Dunnigan. Absolutely.
Cool.
Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Chris, and everybody. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Danny. We're gonna leave you with this song, folks. I hope you'll enjoy it. It's an O Dreams version. Danny, take care of yourself. We'll talk to each other down the road, sir.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, Danny. Thank you. The brilliant Danny Guinan, folks, the one and only, the inimitable, brilliant Danny Guinan. His new album is on the way. His new single is out there now. It's called Little Star. DannyGuinan.com. Please check out his website and go and check out all those videos that I played. Check out the video of the Little Star and download it. Share the video. Share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. All that good stuff. I'm going to leave you with this great, great song from Danny Guinan and O Dreams. John and Ed here, a project that they have going together called O Dreams. Song's called Falling Down. It's great. I'm back again on Wednesday with Sophia Ekberg from Sweden here, 8 o'clock on Raving with Rua. Take care of yourselves. Thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you next time on the next Raving with Rua. Here's O Dreams and Danny Guinan, Falling Down. Enjoy, folks.
I am a boy and I'm up on me bike, scaring me parents with obvious delight. Gone round the bend, sure I'm out of me sight, laughing me head off in glory. I am a boy and this is the life, going around town in the dead of the night, scaring the neighbours and all passers-by, upsetting the end of their stories. Now there's talk of wisdom at all, born with and raised with until we all fall. The least of me worries, I know if I fall, we'll all fall together. I am a boy and I'm high as a kite, drinking me head off most every night, looking around for a bit of a fight. The correct is endless down my way. I am a boy and the money is tight, nowhere to turn, but I've got a good knife. Some put on fortune, it'll get it tonight, if I don't get me fair share of Charlie. Now there's talk of wisdom at all, born with and raised with until we all fall. The least of me worries, I know if I fall, we'll all fall together. Together we'll fall. Together we'll fall. Together we'll fall. Together we'll I am a boy and I'm out on the street, deaf to the world and dead on me feet, sleeping around in an old dirty sheet. Christmas, it never comes early. Now there's talk of wisdom at all, I'm born with and raised with until we all fall. The least of me worries, I know if I fall, we'll all fall together. Now there's talk of wisdom at all, I'm born with and raised with until we all fall. The pursuit of our dreams, it might murder us all. We'll all fall together, together we'll fall. Together we'll fall.